There are moments in human history when a single discovery forces us to question everything we think we know. When the familiar map of the universe seems to tremble, and something entirely new steps out of the dark. This is one of those moments. It began quietly, almost too quietly, a dim point of light, caught by survey telescopes scanning the summer sky. To most observers, it was nothing more than background noise, a flicker among billions of stars. But as astronomers traced its motion night after night, that faint glimmer began to move in ways that defied expectation. The object was not circling the sun like an asteroid, nor sweeping gracefully like a comet. It was cutting straight through the solar system, fast, focused, unstoppable. Its official name soon followed, 3I Atlas, the third confirmed interstellar visitor ever detected entering our neighborhood of space. At first, excitement rippled through the scientific community. Objects from beyond the solar system are incredibly rare, and each one is like a message in a bottle drifting across the cosmic ocean. Astronomers expected a standard reading, a ball of frozen rock and dust, shaped by time and sunlight. But from the moment data began streaming in, 3I Atlas refused to behave. It was moving at nearly 152,000 miles per hour, faster than 99% of known natural objects. Its path, when reversed through computer models, didn't trace back to the asteroid belt or even the distant Oort cloud. It came from deep interstellar space, a region between the stars so empty that light itself takes years to cross. In that emptiness, this object had been traveling untouched for possibly tens of thousands of years before brushing against our system. The odds of that happening by chance are almost unimaginable. Scientists immediately compared it to two earlier interstellar visitors, Oumuamua in 2017 and Tui Borisov in 2019, but Atlas didn't quite fit either pattern. It wasn't elongated like Oumuamua, nor icy and comet-like like Borisov. Instead, it possessed characteristics of both and something more. Its surface shimmered oddly in sunlight, far brighter than expected, as if covered in a reflective sheen rather than dull rock. Its spin was slow, deliberate, and strangely stable, unlike any tumbling natural body. Early spectroscopic readings only deepened the puzzle. Instead of the faint water vapor typical of comets, Atlas emitted traces of complex, carbon-based molecules, the kind often associated with biological or synthetic chemistry. By now, scientists were both fascinated and unsettled. Every new observation seemed to contradict the last. It gleamed like metal, moved like a spacecraft, and yet left a faint trail like a comet. Was it natural? Artificial? A remnant from a forgotten system or something built with purpose? No one dared say it aloud, but the thought lingered in the silence between transmissions. In the void beyond the planets, something was moving, and for the first time, we couldn't tell whether we were studying it or whether it was studying us. As weeks turned into months, Atlas became more than just an astronomical curiosity. It became a paradox wrapped in numbers that refused to make sense. The deeper scientists looked, the stranger it became. The first major clue came from the Webb Space Telescope. Its high-resolution instruments revealed something almost impossible. Atlas wasn't scattering sunlight randomly like a dusty rock should. Instead, its surface reflected light in a pattern that looked intentional. Smooth, consistent, almost mirror-like. Such reflectivity is unheard of in naturally formed bodies. Most space debris is jagged, pitted by countless micrometeorite impacts. But Atlas gleamed as if it had been polished. Even more unsettling, that brightness didn't change as it rotated. The object seemed to present the same face toward Earth, again and again, as though it knew when it was being watched. Rotation data confirmed it. 3I Atlas wasn't tumbling chaotically like a comet. It was turning with a precision no natural body should maintain. It completed its rotation with clockwork regularity, never wobbling, never flickering unpredictably. Astronomers described it as mechanical calm, a term that sent a chill down every spine. In the control rooms. And then came the heat data. When Webb's thermal sensors scanned it, the results defied logic. One side of the object was consistently warmer than the other, not because of sunlight but from within. Normally, a comet's temperature fluctuates wildly as it spins through solar radiation, but Atlas maintained an internal balance. Some scientists speculated it could be retaining heat like a spacecraft with insulation or radiators, a claim quickly dismissed in official reports, but never fully explained. Then came the outgassing data, the material Atlas released as it traveled. Typical comets expel water vapor, carbon monoxide, and simple organic compounds. But Atlas vented something entirely different. Carbon dioxide was found in massive quantities, far exceeding expectations, along with traces of nickel-rich compounds and extremely low levels of iron and the reverse of every comet ever studied. This unique chemical fingerprint baffled researchers. Was it the residue of exotic ices from another galaxy? Or the emission of decaying materials unlike anything we've cataloged? Some spectra even hinted at structured carbon chains, the kind used in synthetic polymers and advanced materials. Density readings made the mystery even deeper. Radar echoes and light curves suggested the object wasn't solid. It had hollow regions, cavities or internal voids that caused subtle shifts in its motion. Natural accretions from dust and gas simply don't form like that. Hollow interiors in space are fragile, fleeting, and rare. Yet Atlas moved with stability, like something intentionally constructed with internal balance in mind. Every model scientists ran to simulate. Its motion required an internal structure, perhaps layers or chambers or a frame. But such a design implied purpose. Theories multiplied overnight. Some believed it might be an ancient fragment of a shattered world. Others whispered it could be debris from a lost civilization beyond our reach. Most, however, refused to draw conclusions. Yet one fact stood firm. Atlas wasn't behaving like anything the solar system had ever seen. It gleamed, it rotated, it radiated, and it confounded every known model. In the endless silence of the cosmos, it was as if something was deliberately bending the rules, just enough to make sure we noticed. Then, one night, the quiet of deep space broke. Across observatories scattered around the world, from Chile to Hawaii, from the Canary Islands to Australia, antennas picked up a sharp, narrow burst of radio energy. It lasted only seconds, but it was powerful enough to register across multiple independent networks. The frequency didn't match any known satellite transmission, solar flare, or background cosmic noise. It was structured, a pulse with rhythm, not random static. And here's the most chilling part. Its origin lined up perfectly with 3i Atlas. For a moment, it seemed the universe had spoken, a whisper carried across the cosmic ocean. Scientists scrambled to verify it. Data was checked, recalibrated, rechecked again. But no matter how many filters they ran, the result held firm. Something, or someone, had transmitted a signal from that object. Within hours, the discovery spread quietly through private research channels. But before any official announcement could be made, the data vanished. Observatory databases that normally released public logs suddenly went dark. Requests for raw information were met with vague replies or silence. NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory issued a brief statement calling the reading a likely interference event. Yet, internal memos told another story, one of restricted access, delayed press releases, and withheld imaging sequences. Even the European Space Agency, known for transparency, abruptly locked portions of its web data portal. The term national security appeared in official documents, attached, astonishingly, to a comet. The blackout sparked a wave of unease among astronomers. Why restrict data from a harmless space rock? What were they trying to hide? For years, NASA and ESA had published every detail of interstellar discoveries, but this time the curtain fell fast. Those who had glimpsed the raw data described something extraordinary before it disappeared. Electromagnetic fluctuations, not seen in any natural object, patterns repeating in intervals too consistent to be random. Some suspected it could be a technical echo, an accidental signal bounce. Others weren't so sure. If it was a glitch, one researcher whispered anonymously, it was the most intelligent glitch I've ever seen. Meanwhile, independent scientists tried to continue tracking Atlas, but new restrictions on telescope scheduling made that nearly impossible. The object was placed under classified observation list, an unprecedented move for an interstellar body. Even amateur astronomers noticed the silence. Online forums filled with confusion. Some suggested the agencies were simply avoiding premature conclusions. Others believed something monumental had been discovered, something not yet ready for public release. As days turned into weeks, the absence of information became its own kind of noise. Humanity's most powerful telescopes were staring at the strangest object in the sky, and yet the world was told to look away. Behind closed doors, theories began to diverge. Some insisted it was all coincidence, the signal a solar anomaly, the blackout a bureaucratic mess. Others whispered of an organized response, a coordinated effort to contain a discovery that could redefine our understanding of life itself. Whatever the truth, one thing was clear: Atlas was no longer just an astronomical subject. It had become a question that governments, scientists, and philosophers were all too afraid to answer. Today, Atlas drifts silently beyond the orbit of Mars, its silver glint fading against the endless dark. The questions it raised, however, still echo across every observatory, every scientific hall, every quiet conversation about what it all means. Was it a natural wanderer sculpted by cosmic chance, or something far older, far wiser, passing briefly through our reach? Perhaps it was neither a probe nor a relic, but a mirror, reflecting the limits of our own imagination. For centuries, humanity has searched the skies for proof that we are not alone, and maybe in our own cautious way, we've just been given a hint, not an answer, but an invitation to look closer. Science has always advanced through discomfort, through mysteries that refuse to fit into tidy explanations. Atlas may one day prove to be the strangest comet ever found, or it may rewrite everything we thought we knew about intelligent life. Either way, it has already done what every great discovery should. It made us wonder again. And in that wonder, in that trembling uncertainty, lies the first step toward understanding not just the universe, but ourselves.